No, and do I look straight at you or do I look at me? Yep, thank you. Okay. So let us know when you're ready. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Malarndirri McCarthy. I'm the Senator for the Northern Territory and the Chair of First Nations Caucus. And this morning, on this beautiful day in terms of NAIDOC week, we are on Ngunnawal country and Ngambri country, and we certainly pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. With me today is Linda Burney, Warren Snowden, Senator Pat Dodson, and also Senator Jess Walsh from Victoria, who are part of our caucus. But most importantly, we are here at Woononga in Canberra, and I'd like to introduce Beth and Julie, who have invited us here today, and along with Libby, who has
Hello.
come as well. Yep, I said Jess. Okay, over to you, Julie and Beth. Thank you for having us here.
I want to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners, the Ngunnawal people, and pay respects to elders past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the Labor caucus members for choosing to come to Woononga on this wonderful day, NAIDOC Day 2020, because it has been such a challenging year, and particularly here for Woononga, as we provided a COVID testing clinic and a well person's clinic. We didn't close the doors for one day, and we're working on a construction site. So I want to say...
And you've had a few of us here for testing, aren't you?
I know, we have. Be back tomorrow. And, you know, Woononga's a wonderful service. We provide comprehensive primary health care. So we don't do body parts. We see the whole person, and we keep it real.
Look, thank you everyone. I'm here as the Shadow Minister for Indigenous Australians and part of the Labor Party Aboriginal Caucus Committee, or First Nations Caucus Committee I should say. And I'd like to thank Woononga and Malarndirri for making sure that we're all safely here this morning. It is important that we put the message out that Labor's position on the Uluru Statement is rock solid. Labor's position is that we support a constitutionally enshrined voice to the Parliament. That has not changed. We support the establishment of a McCarthy Commission, which will have the responsibility for agreement and treaty making, and that's very much part of Labor's position. We also support a national process for truth-telling. So voice, treaty, truth is what Labor believes in, and our position on the Uluru Statement is absolutely rock solid. It seems to me that the only political party in Australia that fully supports the Uluru Statement is in fact the Labor Party. And I reiterate today again that Labor's position on Uluru is what it was 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago. The support for Uluru and all the elements of the Uluru Statement. The Uluru Statement was an invitation to the Australian people to be supporting what Aboriginal people, what First Nations people across this country have said. And Labor understands this, and Labor's position on Uluru is absolutely rock solid.
Today we are gathered here at Woononga, a very, very important medical service that looks after Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people in the Canberra district, and has provided a COVID clinic for some of us. Certainly I've been here to be tested for the virus, and I want to thank the staff and all the people that work here because of the marvellous service they perform. And last time I was here, I think they were preparing bags to be given to people leaving the prisons because they had no clothing or no essential materials to go home. So they perform a very diverse function. Today is also the beginning of NAIDOC week, The theme for NAIDOC Week is always was, always will be, and that's a theme despite the many adversities that have happened to Aboriginal people from the very beginnings of dispossession, of destabilisation of our societies, to programs and policies that have been inept and certainly failing to deliver justice, particularly in the area of criminal justice. The high levels of incarceration rates, the levels of juvenile detention, and the constant need for better social reform in the needs of families. The Uluru Statement is a very important invitation to the nation in order to take things forward and deal with a voice to the Parliament, have that constitutionally entrenched, to deal with the truth-telling about our history and our relationship and an understanding of how it's intertwined and has contributed good things as well as many sad things. But it's also an opportunity for us to relook at our relationship and enter into agreements around the many things that still cause consternation to First Nations peoples and that actually diminish our nation because we haven't resolved them. So today is an important day that the Labor Party certainly recommits yet again to the Uluru Statement and makes it very clear that we're up for the discussion with the government. We know there's a report sitting on the Minister's desk as a consequence of consultations. We look forward to seeing that report at some stage and engaging positively with the Minister in order to take things forward to achieve aspirations that the First Nations people have put forward. But today we're celebrating the fact that First Nations peoples have always been here and will continue to be here despite the adversities that have befallen us, and that there is a real challenge for the non-Aboriginal Australians to relook again at how the survival of First Nations have taken place despite the many inadvertent, obtuse, often ignorant and sometimes racist activities that have sought to undermine us and diminish us. So this is a chance for Australians to relook at our direction forward and to respond positively to the Uluru Statement in particular, and then in the longer term to get on with the other business of solving the inequities that still exist. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing too? I think thank you everyone. The final point is that it is not too late for the government to recommit itself, as Patrick has said, to Uluru, which includes the Who's that? Is that okay? It is not too late for the government to change its trajectory. They have walked away from the Uluru Statement. Labor has not. We call on the government to commit itself to the three elements of Uluru: voice, treaty and truth.
Yeah. Happy NAIDOC.
Happy NAIDOC, everyone.
Happy NAIDOC.
Thank you.